Hi, I'm Kevin Falvey, editor-in-chief of Boating Magazine, and I'm here today with a very exciting interviewee, Andrew Cullen, Director of Connectivity for Yamaha. Andrew, good morning.
Kevin, good to see you, man.
Yeah, good to see you as well. Hey, Director of Connectivity, what does that entail? Tell us give us the elevator pitch, the broad stroke of what that means, Director of Connectivity.
Sure. We are a relatively new division within the world of Yamaha Marine, our connected division. And that includes our company called Siren Marine that was acquired about 2 years ago by Yamaha. So we have integrated the Siren Marine team into our connected division. And the goal there was really to accelerate Yamaha's interest in connected boat strategies. And that's really all around deepening the relationship with our boat owners, as well as our boat dealers and our boat builders as well. And I think we'll get into a little bit more about what connected means, but that's really what it means in terms of structure at Yamaha right now.
So what features? Let's start off inverting this pyramid. What do we get from Siren Marine? What does Siren Marine offer our audience, boat owners? What do they get from Siren Marine? What features that?
We have our flagship device is called the Siren 3 Pro. So this is a hardware device that you would install on the boat. That device right out of the box does a number of things. It'll do GPS tracking, geofencing, it'll monitor battery levels, and it'll be sending this data all up to the cloud and then back on down through a mobile app. But in addition to that just simple hardware device, you can add a number of different sensors as well. So we have 15 different wired and wireless sensors that can shoot even more data up to the cloud so that you can monitor more things on your boat.
Could you give us some examples of those? You don't have to list all 15, but some examples of those other sensors. I mean, bilge pumps, I guess, would be one. Batteries, those are important. What else?
Batteries, bilge activity, high water sensors. We have entry sensors. We also have sensors for snap covers, so you can be notified if a snap is removed on your boat. I'd say entry is one of the big ones as well, so you can use those on hatches and compartments and doors. Really wanted to give you insight into your boat when you're away from it so that you know what's going on in your boat. There's no surprises when you get to it. And that can be anything from theft. It can be anything from a battery not being capable of turning over to get your day underway, or high water, which nobody wants to see either. So we have all that coming down through the mobile app. So it really is kind of a two-part system. There's the on-boat hardware and sensors, and then we have our mobile app that is really the user experience that connects all that together.
Great. So what does that cost? If I want to wire my boat for sound, if I want to be connected with Siren Marine, how much does it cost?
So the main hardware itself, the Siren 3 Pro, is $795 right now. There are some discounts that we offer at various levels. We have a subscription service as well that can run at $22 a month every month, or we have a seasonal subscription that is $150 for the year, and that runs through April through October, I believe, just for the season, and then an annual subscription of $225. The sensors range depending on what they are, but it could be anywhere from $50 to $100.
And are those sensors, are they user installable? Could I install a sensor on my snap myself? So if the wind's blowing hard, I know it blew the snap open, or do I need an installer to do the sensors?
Yeah, I think you could go either way. We think that a lot of this can be done by the individual themselves. I mean, hooking up the unit itself is really just like hooking up a battery tender. Some of the sensors may get more complicated. It really depends on your boat setup, so you could use an installer. But we like to think a lot of people can do it themselves. We have wireless sensors where it's real easy. You just scan in the sensor. The mobile app will read that and pair the sensor to the device, and then you can put the sensor wherever you want on the boat. So that works really good for some of the wireless entry stuff, or for batteries, or for bilge.
And then for the main unit, as you said, it's just like installing a battery tender. I mean, you certainly, if you're unsure, seek someone certified in marine electrical work, but it's in the realm of DIY as well. I mean, a sharp DIY boater could handle it.
Definitely, yeah, within minutes. Yep, pretty easy to do.
Okay, so now here's a question about that's the physical installation. How does the boat get the info? There must be cellular service at the marina or where the boat is stored, or Wi-Fi, or both, or how does that work?
Well, we do have Wi-Fi and Bluetooth built into the device, but that's for future applications that we might want to use. We haven't unlocked that capability yet. For now, everything is via the cell network. So that way you're not depending on a Wi-Fi at the marina or something that can be very inconsistent. We have a consistent cell signal built into the device itself. So it's always on connectivity, no matter where you are. We do have a satellite option as well. So in those chances, if you are going offshore, we have a Siren Sat solution so that when you get out of cell range, the satellite can pick it up and still keep track of your location and stuff like that. So that's something that we've seen as a trend that's really growing in popularity in places like Florida, in places where insurance companies want to see satellite GPS tracking capabilities built into some of their boats that may be going offshore. So a lot of potential there for connected boats and connected solutions.
Satellite, is that shareable? So if my boat has Siren Marine installed with the satellite option, satellite functionality, whatever it might be called, and I go offshore, can I now share my position and stuff with you, sort of as a safety, or another party as a safety device, so someone, people at home know where I am, or know I've arrived, etc.
Yeah, so inside of our app, you're able to grant additional access to people. So it could be in a situation like what you just mentioned, or it could be in a situation where you wanted maybe your marina owner to also have access to make sure to be alerted if something were to happen to your boat as well, too. So having that additional access is really important for, it could be a neighbor, it could be a spouse, could be any range of people that can also utilize these notifications.
So you mentioned that you've seen demand for the satellite increasing. Is the demand for, and do we call this telematics? Is that a fair bucket?
A marine telematics product.
And do you see the demand among boaters is growing? I mean, do you have evidence that it's growing and that, it sounds great, but, is it being accepted? I'm asking.
Yeah, we're growing it every month. Last year, we were up about 30% in terms of the number of subscribers that we have. So the business is growing. We're growing across different boat builders as well. Right now, we're standard on Grady White and regulator boats for the current model year. We've got some additional boat builders coming very soon that we're working with. So we want to see the Siren hardware become standard on boats, and then it just comes down to the subscription for the user to be able to download the app.
So when you're standard in a boat, it's like buying a car that's standard with Sirius satellite or something like that.
Yep, it'll be pre-installed. It'll be right there on the boat. Just comes down to activating it. That's definitely a trend that we're seeing right now. More and more builders wanting to do that at the builder level.
So you hinted at Bluetooth and Wi-Fi were on board, were integral for future applications. Can you tip your hand? Can you speak even in the most vague terms about what other functionality might be available to boaters for marine telematics via Siren Marine in coming in a year, 3 years, 5-year horizon?
Yeah, for sure. I think in the short term, I think one of the biggest things we're going to see is the addition of new sensors that can do and read new things on the boat to be able to give you more insight. Like I said, we have 15 right now. I think you're going to see that portfolio grow with some really new concepts and new ideas. We also, on the app side, are continuing to work on that user experience, to work on the capabilities within the app. That's one of the easiest things that we can update for boaters, is to continue to make that app experience better. It's a simple push of a button to unlock new functionality. So we're going to continue to push out update after update after update to make it better and better. I would say in the midterm, I think we're going to see, connected boats in the eyes of Yamaha. We really see connected technology making boating easier for people. And that's really a big part of the strategy behind it for us, is how can we take out the pain points of boating? How can we eliminate the not knowing what's going on with your boat when it's a couple hours away in harsh conditions? How can we, take that away and put it in the palm of your hand? So I think that, as we continue to do that, as we continue to work with more boat builders, that we're going to see this technology become really expected by the customer. Kind of like you see in the car industry today, where you buy a car and you download the app for that car, and you become, closer and connected to that car, whether it's turning things on and off or whether it's maintenance or anything like that. And I think that the expectation for the customer when you buy a boat will be to have this connected technology on it. I think that's in the midterm, maybe planning as we go. And then I think, eventually, in that same kind of light, I think we're going to see connected technology just built into the boat to begin with. It'll be completely seamless to the end user, and it'll be there. It'll just need to be activated and then used. And that's definitely the direction we're going.
So the long term is the Internet of Things, where all of our stuff is basically wired for various benefits for various reasons.
Yeah. I mean, for sure. I think boats makes maybe more sense than some of the other stuff you see out there nowadays. I mean, you have a very large, expensive asset that is away from you, that any number of things could happen to. and you want to be able to, you want to have some insight into what's going on there. And I think really at the end of the day, and anybody that goes out boating with their family knows the last thing you want to do is get there and have a dead battery or some unexpected event that throws your entire day off, whether you're fishing or going out with the family or whatever you're doing. You don't want that surprise when you get to the dock. You want to know. You want to know if you need to bring a jump kit. You know, you want to know if there's high water or something going on. You can run over and try to make it better. So I think that's a big part of it, is taking the pain points out of boating by connecting people to their boats. That's really the essence of what we're aiming to do.
Well, that all sounds great, Andrew. Is there anything else, any other topic about Siren Marine or boat connectivity that we haven't discussed that perhaps we should?
Potentially. I mean, I think we talked a lot about the benefits for the customer, and there are plentiful benefits for the customer that we went over. There's also a number of different benefits for Yamaha dealers and our boat builder partners as well. And so we kind of see that as a complete ecosystem inside the world of connected boats. So, when we talk about our builders, putting Siren hardware standard on these boats, we're also going to be accumulating a lot of cloud data about how these boats are actually being used and how they're being run, at what RPM levels and when and where. And we're really excited about the ability to be able to, draw trends in some of that boat data usage and be able to, share that back with the builders so that they can use that data, that real world usage data, to build a better boat. And I think that you're going to see that emerge as another trend in the years to come. We're going to start doing that at the later part of this year, and we're pretty excited about that. I think on the dealer side too, if we're able to isolate, when fault codes are thrown or something happens to the boat, and we're able to look at how the boat was being run 5 minutes before and how the boat was being run 5 minutes after that fault code was sent, and that's automatically shared with the dealership. When that issue maybe occurs on a Sunday, the dealer calls you on a Monday and they say, "Hey, here's what happened. We saw you had a fault code. Here's what happened." We're able to jump in and help that customer, and then maybe even be able to use some of that data to prevent those things from happening into the future for customers who may be in a similar kind of situation as that boater. And that would be what we call predictive maintenance or preventative maintenance or something like that, using a lot of this data. So I think it's really a bigger ecosystem, and we're really just starting to scratch the surface of some of it, beginning with a lot of these customer benefits.
That sounds all very interesting, Andrew, and it looks like it holds plenty of potential and plenty of usefulness right now.
I agree. Yeah, we're excited about it.
All right, Andrew Cullen, Director of Connectivity for Yamaha Siren Marine. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you, Kevin.
And stay tuned for more interviews by Next Marine.